Boom pow and anchovies jacking my style. They try to cover my swagger. I'm on that next anchovies now. You're so 2008.
We're so 2000 and late. I was late this morning.
That's true.
And on the last episode, we talked about how this was a new beginning for me and I wasn't going to be late anymore.
Mm-hmm. But you actually did text me and say, like when I said 10:30, you said see you at 10:40.
Yeah, but still in my head I thought I could make 10:30, and then I was here at 10:45 once again, empty-handed, no laptop to record. So
with coffees, though.
But I did have coffees.
Yeah, that's all that matters. But Timarie does have one job to bring a laptop.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
It's okay.
We've rebuilt and we have something really exciting and different for this episode.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the show must go on, like just because we don't have laptop, like the Anchoevies are working so hard to put this together for you guys. Like we work day in and day out, and I bet you're all wondering, there's an empty chair in between the two of us, like who could it be?
Probably knowing us, a woman, right?
You would think that, because allegedly there have been some allegations against the Anchoevies.
Yeah.
They think that we hate men,
right?
And we're here today to do something monumental. Something that's never been done on a podcast before with two women. That thing is, we are having a male guest. Should we bring him out?
Bring him out. Bring him out.
Bring him out. Bring him out. Okay, come on.
Everybody,
mystery
welcome
guest.
Our mystery guest. We're going to give you 10 seconds of him talking to guess who it is before we tell you.
Okay.
For our audio-only listeners. Male. Unidentified male.
Who are you? Well, don't say it.
Don't tell them who you are, but will you just talk for a minute?
They're going to have no clue.
I am a male from Coeur d'Alene, and I am closely connected to really both of the hosts of this show.
Hostesses.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Wouldn't you want to be called a host more because hostess is sexist?
Yes.
But we're the hostesses
like,
with the mostesses. Wouldn't you want to be
called like actresses? Would rather just be called actors?
It depends on the day.
Okay.
Ask us in our luteal phase versus our... What's the other one? Follicular?
Yeah, it depends if we're in the ovulatory, menstrual, luteal, or follicular phase.
Have you guys guessed who it is yet? Here's a little hint, and this won't give away a lot at all. He is married to one of us.
But can you tell which one? It's me.
It's Timarie.
And his name rhymes with Schmacob Schmaxwell.
Should I say who I am? Or
yeah, you can
go ahead.
I'm Jacob Maxwell. I'm Timarie's husband.
Yay!
We're so
you're so welcome, and we're so happy to have you on the pod because I'm married to you.
Right.
So it's like basically like we are one. So now I feel like I am whole for the first time.
I thought you felt like that with me.
I do feel that way with Tessa as well. So actually what I'm saying is like each of you is a third of me.
Or you feel like a whole and a half.
Yeah.
Right.
And so now I'm just overflowing with so much, just so much to give and offer. And, you know, like I said, we have been framed.
I don't think you've been framed.
We have been framed in the name of podcasting history that for some reason... in a poll that we never took, people are saying that we are here to tear men down, and that's just not true.
And I don't know where on earth they are getting
this information.
Yeah, info from.
I'd love to kind of chime
Please
in
chime
with
in.
a thought, because
as a male, you are so welcome and like
and heard and valued in this space,
and
right.
you can have your own opinion,
even though we haven't let you talk at all so far. But I would like to give you the floor right now.
So
now.
We're giving you the floor right now.
Right. Thank you so much. I will say when
you're welcome.
I will say
thank you so much, Gooby. That was great.
We did find several clips of Timarie saying the words "I hate men" on this podcast. So I want to say that you weren't framed at all, but rather called out. But the thing is for me, and I would assume to, kind of speak for Drew to an extent, is we know your humor. So when that clip opens up and it's like, I don't think men could ever understand with their pea-sized brains. Or like, it's an ick for a man to have emotions. Like, that's gross. I think it's quite clear that if someone doesn't know you and you have such great dry wits that
Thank you.
if you said like men don't understand and I hate men, I think there is a chance that some person who's never met you guys would say that, you know, you don't like men. I'm quite nervous to just be sitting here. I think I'm about to be on blast, but I'm wanting to because I think it's going to be really fun.
Okay.
That's currently what I would throw into the thought of this whole.
Well, thanks for coming on today, Jacob.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, Tessa, do you want to go first, or can I respond to that?
I would like you to respond.
Okay, first of all.
Sorry, one sec.
Okay. I'm not going to comment about your manspreading. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? I guess when we started this podcast, I genuinely didn't think we would get more than like 10 listeners, like of our closest friends. And so when we're making this podcast, obviously my goal is for it to blow up, which it really has taken off. Like, and it's
right.
Like, I cannot keep the listeners away.
Right.
They're berating me in public. It's amazing. No, but I guess I had pictured our friends and family would be like our main listeners. And so then when we start getting randos who I've never met or talked to, like random people on the internet saying like, you guys are terrible people, you hate men. I'm like, oh, they don't know that we're joking, which, I mean, part of me is like, well, okay, part of that's on them. But for the most part, I was like, okay, maybe we could peel back a little.
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think you should peel back at all.
Well,
because that's what means, like, you're doing well. Like, when you get haters, when someone is starting to, like, get too sensitive because they think you're being too hard on men. Like, first of all, men are, like, definitely the least, like, I don't know, criticized. So, like, I feel like it's due.
In history?
Yeah, it's like, you know, I think men can handle being made fun of.
But at the same time, when you have somebody come on your reel and say, like, your day of judgment is coming, you better hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel because you're going to hell because of the way you speak about men. I go, okay, maybe we could peel back a little, although that is extreme. I don't want to come off as, like, a man-hating podcast because then we called one of our listeners, who is a male, mind you, and we said, Dean, what if you had to say what our podcast was about, what would you say? And he said, it's like a feminist charged podcast. I was like, oh my gosh,
do you
we're
feel
totally
like
joking.
there are undertones of them being sexist towards men? He's like, oh, 100%.
And then I felt so guilty because I was editing it and I was like, these people are insane. And then I would pull my headphones out and let Jacob listen every time because I'm like, I hate men.
There's like a soundbite so perfect. She's like, honestly, moral of the day is I hate men. That was like a little clip that came up.
And we're like, I don't know why people are thinking that about us.
But I think that's like what you guys, not like that's your goal of the podcast, but it's comedic and you're also just like joking around. So I feel like that should be a part of what you're doing is, you know, there's always a grain of truth in every joke, but at the same time, it's funny. Like,
well, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm a minnow.
You're a minnow and you're a mano. Or Anchoevies, as another fellow male listener would say.
Okay.
Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you, Ethan. And Tessa, what do you think of all this controversy? I love that we're just like really breaking the internet right now.
This dude is so stoked that we're talking about him. This one comment that you guys have received.
This was like breaking the fourth wall or something. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Well, like, actually, real quick, I did also put a clip on TikTok that got like 10 comments of hate comments from men, and then it got removed and we got a strike. So we need to be careful.
Really? Was that the one that someone commented like
people
something
are fighting
about women, like women saying the stupidest thing I've ever heard after saying that men are have pea-sized brains.
The video,
something.
No, the video that was reported
TikTok,
was the one that said
it's
it's gross for men to have emotions. Because that one, I understand why TikTok took down.
The tricky thing is that you pointed out, Jacob, I think a couple days ago, is like, look at our faces while we're talking, and we're not smiling or laughing or anything, and that's just like our dry sense of humor.
Totally.
Which I think is elite, dare I say.
Yeah.
But the average Joe who doesn't have that sense of humor is just going to think we're actually being serious.
Right.
Which there's a lot of like mean opinionated people on TikTok who could have a podcast like being mean. So I get it. However, do I think we need to stop? No.
Don't stop.
Okay. Yeah, I'm scared of authority. So the second like I think someone's hurt, I'm like, I'm like not made to be an internet girly, but I'm still going.
I think people can make fun of women.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think I would laugh at a TikTok or something of a podcast being like,
I feel like it's unique to your like field of work too, because it's time to be real, guys.
I don't have my phone when I'm recording.
I gotta pop
Sorry,
this
is super
quick.
important.
Yeah, guys, this is gonna be the most legendary Be Real of all time.
1 second.
Slay. That's so cute.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Guys,
I'm so glad we took
wait,
that.
will you guys save those so we can put them on the gram?
No.
Oh.
Just kidding. Yeah.
Save
Okay.
I guess at the end of the day, I just never want to say something that's like genuinely hurtful. So obviously we're joking.
Right.
Yeah, just know that like
hurt
almost
people's
every
feelings.
single thing we say
is a joke.
is a joke.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have to say that also, but it's like me being like worried of,
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody was literally just talking about some deep, like it was so much. I was like,
it was like a 40-paragraph essay.
it was a manifesto
yeah.
of a comment. Which you can find it
to
on our
each
last
their
reel.
own, but also I feel like the men that we actually interact with and
Yeah,
know,
they know we
know
joking.
you.
know that we're joking, and
They know you.
know that we love them.
Yeah, and so I
How do I
think
save
maybe we
this
should
photo?
say a list of men like that we love.
You don't need to list.
No, like, I think we should
There's
just
like
go
10.
through.
There's for sure
There's-
at least 10 people.
I think in history and in Hollywood and in our personal lives, and I want to
Mhm.
start and say,
I'm trying to think
Chris
of one.
Phillips, Tessa's
Okay, that's
father.
my dad.
Love that guy.
You know,
He's
he's like
on-
a father to me.
Right.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan. Love that
Mhm.
guy.
Yeah.
Weird
Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Close to our hearts.
Yeah.
Obsessed. George Washington. Mad respect.
He contributed a lot to this
First
city.
president of the United States of America. That's pretty impressive. Wooden teeth.
Lance Armstrong.
Is that the one from the moon or the bike?
What do you think it is? There's Neil and there's Lance. You tell us who did what.
I'm going to say Lance because you brought it up first is the moon. Although I don't believe the moon landing is real. I'm just going to say that straight up.
Oh, that's a...
Well, let's type it up.
Who's who?
Lance
Armstrong
Is the biker?
is an American former professional road racer.
Are you kidding me?
Neil went to the moon.
Or did he?
Well, no, but like that's what he allegedly did.
He got on an
Drew-
incredible Hollywood set. With
Drew has his hand up. He'd like to say something. I'm going to give the mic to him.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing it.
I was just going to say, while we're talking about the moon landing conspiracy, that if you look at, so
The
Neil
shadows.
Armstrong, right? If you look at Neil A backwards, what do you get?
Alien.
Alien.
That's pretty good.
Shut
Wow, that's
up.
And
good.
what do you get
Thank
when
you
you
for sharing
put
that.
Tessa backwards?
Asset.
Asset.
You know,
Because she's our greatest asset.
Thank you.
You know, you get Drew when he's backwards. A pretty view. Thank you.
I was like, word.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Word.
gonna now that we've cleared up that drama,
Package.
if we get another comment, we're just gonna put you on blast. Like you get one nice response from us, and now from now on, if you come at us, we're gonna come back times 10.
Yeah.
And that's a threat
Yeah.
and a promise.
All men who comment get blocked from here on out. If you don't comment, "Ha, you're so funny and pretty."
Yeah. Oh wait, really quick. We have a lot of male listeners, like dedicated Anchoevies. And I was at Vault the other day, and somebody came up and they made a male, and he made an anchovies reference. And I felt bad because I literally was so confused because I was not thinking about it at all. And he said something like about HIPAA, and I was like, why is this guy talking about like HIPAA?
Did you know him?
I don't think so. Maybe. I feel like bad because if he listens to this and is like, yeah, like I was, I worked with, like, I don't know. I'm really bad at remembering people's faces and names, but I don't think so.
Mhm.
And yeah, so there's there's menos everywhere.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
womenos as well.
Mm-hmm. And we love all of them equally.
Right.
Okay, guys, I know that you already know this, but I'm like been dying all week to talk about this on the pod. It's like the biggest thing that's ever happened to me, and Jacob can weigh in because he was there. Tessa actually was there virtually.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sitting on my couch the other day FaceTiming Tessa. I'm telling her I'm evolving. I'm becoming the newest, best version of myself. And she's basically like, I think in her eyes was like, oh my gosh, Timarie, just hang up. Because every time I talk to Tess on the phone, I try to keep her on the line as long as possible. Like if I can beat 30 minutes, it's a good day. And like she's usually just like, okay, Timarie, whatever. So I'm talking and I'm on the couch and at my back door, I'm convinced somebody is breaking in. Like the noise I heard was so scary.
Yeah, all of a sudden she just like goes, gasps and turns her head to the other. And I'm like, is someone breaking? Am I going to witness a murder?
Yeah, she probably was about to see me get actually like murdered in front of her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I would have not hung up for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
You're like, you're going to want to see this.
Tessa,
I'm like, get away from her.
Stay back.
Just picture like that audio sound of just someone's voice coming through a phone speaker. Put just step away. Don't do it.
He's like, what?
Anyways, I'm like, Tessa, somebody's breaking into my house. Come with me. And she's like, okay. She's like, not really saying anything. She thought maybe I was pulling her leg.
No, I was just like trying to listen.
Are you speaking to Tessa in third person?
Yeah.
I was trying to listen quietly because if someone was breaking into your house, I wanted to hear what was going on. You were being quiet.
Did you put yourself on mute?
No,
okay.
Not that quiet.
And
Jacob.
so I go to the back door and then it all comes together. It all comes together. It's not an intruder. Nay, it was none other than a chicken literally ramming its head into my back door, trying to get into my house through the doggy door. And I started screaming like, there's a chicken getting in my house. And Tessa's like not really saying anything. And I'm like, Tessa, I'm like freaking out. Actually, maybe she did. I kind of blacked out. I don't know what she said.
Yeah, I was laughing.
Okay, she was laughing. In moments like this, when like your life is literally changing before your eyes, I tend to black out. I was so scared. I'm like, Tessa, I gotta bounce. I do what other than hop onto TikTok live. And I'm like, everybody. I have like 7 viewers. One of them's like my friend. Guys, there's a chicken. I'm freaking out. Jacob was at Target buying khakis. I couldn't leave because...
Sorry, that seemed like a really important detail.
Yeah, what?
I'm pretty sure that's so funny.
I was just getting
I did ask at some point. I'm like, well, where's Jacob? And you said the same. You didn't just say like, oh, he's out running
Target
errands.
getting khakis. Why?
She said, yeah, she felt like to tell me where you were and what exactly you were buying.
Yeah, I was going to the store because I needed some work clothes and I remember asking Timarie to come with me.
I'm so glad I didn't.
She's like, no, I really don't want to go to Target with you.
I told you.
I thought that was a rare thing to say.
I literally said something inside my soul is telling me I need to stay home.
Not to stereotype, but like, when does that ever happen where the male is like, want to go to Target with me? And the girl's like, no, I don't feel like it.
I'm sure you guys have never heard of a man that
ever asked me to go to Target with him. I would first be shocked.
Yeah.
And I would be in that car instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm always trying to drag Drew to Target. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's just a female experience.
Continue.
I have to let you know that you just got a Target notification.
We've just been notified
from a reliable source
that Timarie's phone is being used to record this, and she just got a Target notification while we're talking about
That's
it. So
crazy.
To CEO of Target,
please sponsor us.
We love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything.
So I'm at Target getting khakis. You're at home. There's a chicken outside. You're on FaceTime with Tessa. What do you do next?
Well, I'm sitting there. I'm literally saving my life. My knee is pressed against the doggy door because it's ramming at full speed, trying to get in the house.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Because I love your storytelling. When I tell stories, I usually add like 5 to 10% of exaggeration to really carry the, according to Drew, it's 100%. What's that face for? You don't have to be here right now, bro. How much are you exaggerating that this chicken was ramming the doggy door? Because I will believe you, but I wonder, was it ramming the dog door and your knee had to be held up against it for a chicken
at full speed
to get through the doggy door with a cover on the doggy door to stop it from people going through it?
I would never, ever add a lie.
Is this my last time on the show for asking that
Jacob, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I would never lie.
Are you crying?
There are tears coming out.
Trying to get yourself to cry. Oh my gosh, there's tears running down her face.
I would never lie.
Oh,
Theo's comforting you.
Because dogs can sense it. You can sense lies?
I would never lie.
Oh my gosh, you are shedding a tear. I can't believe you're able to do that.
What do you say, believe? It's okay, Theo. First of all, I would never lie ever unless ever about this chicken because it because when I tell you the end of this story and how this chicken ties into my fate of what my life is gonna be and how it all connects, you're gonna know this is nothing but the truth.
The tears.
When I say it was ramming full speed at the doggy door, I say that as though it did ram. It rammed twice. Do I know the exact velocity of how fast this chicken is able to run?
Loca, calm down, baby.
It's okay. Guys, listen. Thank you, baby. Thank you. It's okay. Listen, I don't know how fast this chicken can go, but all I know is I was fearing for my life, and it did actually ram the door twice out of my recollection that I saw with my own eyes. When it rammed in the first time, I don't know if it went for the doggy door, did it go for the window? I'm not sure. But I know it was going fast, and I think it was trying to get into the house.
Okay.
Because it did ram, and I got it on video, into the window, and it rammed at the doggy door. And it didn't knock the doggy door off. I did kind of black out. So that's one thing to keep in mind. It was standing on the grill.
I love how we're like 4 seconds into what actually happened so far in the story. This is describing the first like 3 seconds. I'm probably still on FaceTime
at this point.
Yeah, Tessa's still on FaceTime.
All I saw was a chicken who was standing on the barbecue right outside. And for farm girl like me,
you're like,
that's just a typical Tuesday night.
Right. Well, the chicken's standing on the Blackstone grill, and it's like, we almost had it, like, we were about to preheat that thing. I was about to preheat that thing. It could have been fried. And then I did feel bad 30 minutes later or an hour later when we cooked chicken thighs. I thought, this reminds me of Eric, which is what I named the chicken.
Which is funny because I don't know how many times I said, you kept saying, he's trying to get in. And I said, that looks like just a chicken, not a rooster, which would be like a hen.
Yeah.
Which
the
would be a
jury's
female.
out because some people said rooster and some people said chicken.
And it might have been a rooster.
Well, obviously, I know nothing about like the anatomy of chickens, but I feel like a rooster develops its type of, look when it hits adulthood.
Are you thirst trapping me right now?
Yeah, so maybe.
What is this?
I'm sorry.
Maybe it was like a young adolescent male.
I think it was a young adolescent male.
I was trying to remind you. I said, she, her. You kept saying he's trying to get in, and I said
right now they, them, because the jury's out. We don't know.
Right. But then you just named him Eric.
Yeah, but I did name
okay.
him or her Eric. And I'll get to the chase here.
Eric
was trying to lay an egg on the grill.
Do you know what that's from?
So that...
The Eric?
No.
Have you guys seen the meme that's like top 10 gooby woobies?
And this
and
is
it's photos of different... So he starts it by just showing old photos of like pigs from like the... Like old drawings.
Like medieval time.
And he goes, this one's Goopoo Loopoo. He's like, he's a real homie. And then he gets to one named Aaron. And he goes, this one's name is Aaron. And he just does it kind of like a DJ Sly, like Eric. And so Timarie says, and it's Eric.
That's funny.
Which, anyways, just a little backstory.
Just to pipe in real quick when you said he was trying to lay an egg. Just a reminder that also might point to it being a hen.
Sure,
but first of all, it's 2023. We don't know. Second of all, was he actually trying to lay an egg? I'm not sure because it looked like he was trying to squeeze something out on my grill. And I thought I wouldn't be shocked if an egg popped out. It never did.
So what was he doing that made you think he was about to pop out an egg?
It was kind of like he was like standing on the lid of the Blackstone, which is open. So if like this is the surface of the grill, this is the lid. He's standing on it going squeezing.
So for our audio-only listeners, it's kind of a cat and cow.
A little cat-cow action.
Situation.
And so I'll cut to the chase here because I think we've been talking about this for 30 minutes. And I'm sorry for that. But I also, this is my truth and like I'm not going to hold back anymore. And so I'm freaking out. Jacob comes in. I'm like, babe, get over here. There's a freaking chicken. This is wild. Then he comes out and he's like, oh, he like totally was like, I got you, baby. It's gonna be okay. And then he starts making phone calls like a boss. Actually, I think at one point we did chase the chicken around the backyard for a while.
Oh my!
It got lost in a bush.
Okay, this is so exaggerated. I don't want you to cry, but that is so not what happened.
We did kind of try to chase it for a bit.
No one tried to chase it. I did not try to chase this chicken.
And it went under the bush. Remember, we were kind of following it around.
Yes, we walked towards it to try to figure out how it got over the fence,
it was
where
a wild
it was going.
Goose chase.
We've never introduced our dog to a chicken, and would Lady,
red flag,
want to just confront it like she would another dog? Would she think she should try to attack it?
Yes.
So we're like, we have to keep Lady inside. And when I saw the chicken, Timarie was, she looked very distraught. She was, again, still knee against the doggy door. Lady is losing it. And so I just go back out the front of the house, around the side. I open our fence door thing, and I just approach the chicken. And chickens are typically skittish.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're aggressive.
Not
But this
Eric.
one, Eric was skittish.
He's aggressive.
Well, okay.
I'm
And
just kidding.
he immediately, I probably got like 5 feet away from him, and he just jumped off the grill and then walked into the backyard further. And that's when Timarie and I went out and went to go find him, and he hid under a bush. So we didn't like chase him down. I didn't
That's true.
aggressively like save the day. I walked up to the chicken. I was trying to introduce myself and figure out what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Do you know
fell
where your
off.
parents are?
Yeah, like what's
Are
your
you
name?
lost?
And that's when I made a phone call to our neighbor, Renee. Thank you. If you're,
Renee,
somehow
I don't
listening
think
to
listens
this,
to our
Minnow.
pod.
she said, you know what? You have neighbors behind you that we know, and they have chickens. I would bet you they just hopped the fence. Continue.
So yeah, then what do we do other than drive to our neighbor's house, which is 2 blocks away? So it's really funny that we drove. Literally, it would have been
was
a
cold.
3-minute walk. We drove to their house. They invited us in. Sweetest people ever. It was funny. We were like, oh, we went to church with them like years ago, and
Oh.
so
Yeah.
we recognized each other. We didn't like formally know each other. They were like so sweet. And so yeah, they're like, let's wrangle this thing, and we go back to our house.
They were cool.
hopped the fence.
He hopped the fence and chased it down, picked it
Yeah.
up. It was pretty awesome.
And then we talked to them. We like made friends, and they were so nice. And
Did
They're
you get to
bee
keep
farmers.
Eric?
no,
Oh.
I wish.
They're bee farmers as well, and they said if you ever want some like real natural honey,
Yeah, it was awesome. And
I'll
then
give it to you.
Wow.
I don't think they directly offered.
They said we'd give you some if you're interested.
Oh, okay. We need to definitely capitalize on that because I'm a honey cream and cinnamon girl.
Mm-hmm, me too.
So is Tessa. So is Drew. Jacob's not on the. That's okay.
And that's okay.
You're
That's
a man
okay.
with a right to your own opinions and flavor preferences.
You guys, you should still feel free to roast me for being a man. I feel like this isn't the Anchoevies
would
podcast without a
never.
true, jab at my.
It just feels like we're digging ourselves out of a hole right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And once
We
we
need to
feel like we're
rebuild.
above ground, we will dig ourselves another one.
Okay.
Yep.
In the form of
I respect
roasting
that.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The whole moral of the story and where it ties into my life's greater purpose is this. We all know I want to be on The Amazing Race. Sorry. We all know I'm going to be on The Amazing Race and win first place.
Yes.
Update for you guys. Tessa's not going to be joining me because turns out she really, doesn't want to do that. And I couldn't, force Tessa or Jacob to do this with me because
Correct.
they said that sounds like the most stressful thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Why would anyone want to do this? They didn't say that. I kind of embellished. But basically, I think that was kind of the general consensus.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
my thing.
So I see this chicken, right? Why is it on my grill? What does it want to do with me? What is this saying about my
'Cause it
greater
hopped the
purpose in life?
He's going to be your partner.
No.
Is that...
Eric, Timarie, and Eric.
That would be so awesome, though. But unfortunately, I don't think you can audition with a chicken.
Okay.
Have you
Then-
asked?
No, maybe it's worth asking because me and Eric did have a really tight bond. But we go sit on the couch. What should we watch? None other than CBS hit show Survivor. We start the first episode of a new season. Right? Wasn't it the first episode? Or maybe it was
one of them, yeah.
we were in the
The
middle of
early-
watching season.
It was early season.
The opening scene of Survivor is that the tribe finds chickens.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, oh my gosh, this is the most insane thing ever. We found chickens. And I go, babe, this is literally a sign from God that I should audition for Survivor.
And do you know we were eating that for dinner that night?
Chicken.
Chicken.
Eric.
Yes. And I told Jacob, I don't make this up. Like, I know when I'm seeing this right now that the Lord is telling me something. The world wants me to go on Survivor. I could win the $1 million and be sole survivor easy. Like, what? Like, it's hard?
No, I don't know
Have you seen
who
Survivor?
thinks it's hard. Yeah.
Okay. I just now know that I'm going to audition for Amazing Race with Carly, but I'm also auditioning for Survivor. And whatever takes me first, great. And then that's my in. And then I become a CBS superstar. They have me back for Survivor All Stars. They want me on Big Brother. They want me on Amazing Race again. Because they do that with the contestants. And this is like, Jacob has singing and music. Tessa has, well, she doesn't sing very much, but she is a great singer. But she slaps the bass. You guys have your thing. For me, my only hope in being financially successful in this lifetime is to be a
entertainer,
reality TV star.
That's not your only thing, but that is one of your options.
What about a podcast host?
Obviously, that goes in tandem because I go on the show and then our podcast blows up.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. True. Oh, I support it.
Yeah, I support it too.
Do you agree that it was like a sign?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Promise?
Yes.
I'm doing it, guys. So I need to go home and order like a portable mic so I can start making my audition tapes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah.
What do you think's more? So the prizes are both $1 million for either show?
Yes.
Well, yeah, but
I would split it with Carly
your duo on Amazing Race.
If we when we win.
What seems like more work for $1 million? Which show?
They honestly are both so difficult in their own ways. Like
They're
Survivor,
about the same amount of time too.
You are literally like foraging for your own food. You're living with 10 strangers who are probably, or like 9 strangers at first, who are all like just wildly different. Like a lot of times in the beginning, people get voted out literally just for being annoying or like not jiving with the group.
Yikes. That would be tough to be with those annoying people.
Yeah.
That's not what that sigh was about.
I didn't sigh.
You went. That's not what that was about.
A sigh is. That was more like an inhale.
What was that inhale?
I thought I wouldn't want to be the first person to get voted off.
Yeah.
What are you implying?
I would hate to go home first.
You're saying that I'm annoying and so they want me home first. No, this is my thing, guys. I know that I am a strategical mastermind and also I have the personality to be on TV. And this is the only way.
Yeah.
And so I think of those one-on-one camera moments and I'm already like, I always have so much to say. That will be my time to shine. I'm going to go on the show. Quiet, shy. Everyone's like, she's so shy. She's not super strong, but not super weak. She's kind of a middle ground player. I'm a cocoon. They think, yeah, we'll keep her around because we know we could beat her in the end.
You think you can pretend to be shy?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And then because I get it all out when I'm talking to the camera crew. I'm finding hidden immunity aisles. Nobody knows that because I'm so shy. And then what? Halfway through, bam, bust out of my cocoon, wings flapping. Who wants to join? You're either with me or against me. And if you're against me, you better.
I feel like you rehearsed this like so many times.
In the mirror this morning.
Yeah.
Before the pod, she's like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah. And Jacob hears me like,
bust out my cocoon, flap my wings. You're with me or against me.
So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. 30 minutes round trip and you get the idea.
30 minutes round trip.
Like my story was like a 30-minute round trip around so many different topics, but we came back to where we started, and that's all I have to say.
Have you thought about following up with Eric via your new neighbor friends, like keeping in touch, or do you think that was just a one-off, like you don't need to see him again?
I do need to see him again, and they were so nice. They were literally the people where I think I could knock on their door, and they would like be like, "Let me make you dinner," and if I was like, "Can I play with your chickens?" they would be like, "Of course." They literally had us in there. We knock on the door, and they're like, "Come in," and we talked for probably 20 minutes plus.
I can't imagine having like an unexpected visitor that I don't know and being like just showing up in the dark and being like, come in.
And once they clarify this is how you know them and it's been like 2 years, you're like, oh, come inside. It's like even when they first saw us, they didn't remember
just saw us.
Yeah.
They were like,
I wish I was more like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, good to see you. Come on in.
Well, and they literally said our door is always open, like, because we were like, sorry to
Which
intrude.
isn't true. It was literally closed when we walked up.
So we know they're liars.
But maybe they leave it unlocked and you guys could just walk in at any time. Yeah. It's kind of what it sounds like. It's kind of
what they seem to promise.
Well, yeah, the fact that we don't really know each other very well and they see us in 3 seconds and they're like, oh, we thought you might be so-and-so. So it sounds like they have a lot of people just coming up and saying, hey.
That's awesome.
Right.
I'm like, I love that for you. I'm like, my house needs to be clean. I need to be in the mood to hang around people.
Yeah.
And prepared. But anyways, that's all. I'll shut up now.
Thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah. You're very strong and brave for sharing that. And
thanks.
I think that God put Eric in your life for a reason.
Yeah. And hearing it for the 3rd time is just as entertaining. It's still really, I still like hearing it.
Yeah, I think we got to a point where Jacob like had to like sit me down and say like, babe, like you need to stop talking about the chicken.
There was a moment when I think we were in bed and I was like, listen, baby, I was there too. I love you. You are a queen, but I would like for us to talk about something different now.
Right.
You know.
We also have this conversation almost nightly about
Survivor.
About me going on
An Amazing Race.
Jacob
We'll watch the show, and she's like, this is what I would have done. Do you think I would have won that challenge? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe.
Respectfully.
And it's like lift a boulder and like walk, 50 feet with it, and then like chop a rope down and assemble a ladder. She's like, don't you think I would have won that? I'm like, honestly, I have no idea. It depends on who you're up against. And then she gets the tears back, and it gets pretty rough.
Yeah. You can learn from Drew is that if I ask him anything like that, he immediately goes, of course you would have won. You would have.
Yeah.
Like he goes way above and beyond. There's no way he would have ever known. I ask him ridiculous things. Like, do you think I could, I don't know, XYZ?
Yeah.
And always immediately, of course, you're the most qualified person. You do so good at that. Yeah. And I know that he's lying through his butt.
Right.
But in the most loving way ever. So
and that's great.
You could learn something from that.
I could do that.
Make your conversations quicker if you just say, of course.
He does that, but then I go, if he just gives me a quick answer like that, I go, can you describe to me like what you mean in that answer? Because I want to hear.
And that's where she calls my bluff. And I'm like, just.
You're so strong and pretty and funny is what you would say.
And then respectfully, like I'm not throwing Jacob under the bus here, but he has lately been like, baby, can we please just not talk about you being on TV?
Which is funny because I think someone else in this room was on a reality competition television show.
It's almost as if somebody doesn't want their spotlight taken away, if you ask me.
Listen, guys, for almost 5 years ago, I was on NBC's four-time Emmy Award-winning hit series, The Voice.
There we go.
Really, Jacob? I didn't know that.
And that's why I'm telling you. The
funny thing is that if I'm on The Amazing Race, it's going to be the only thing I talk about for the rest of my life.
See, that's the thing is she, I can't stress this enough. Timarie talks about The Amazing Race or Survivor on average 5 times a day. I'm not kidding. Probably for the last 3 months.
It's called manifesting.
So with that being said, I still fully support you. I just do sometimes want to talk about something else. And
that's your right.
And Jacob's like, we need to work on our marriage. I'm like, but Phil Keoghan says. But Jeff Probst would never. I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah, no, that's true. Mm-hmm. She wants to meet them. She wants to hang out with them.
I'm gonna kiss him on the cheeks.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Totally. Well, Jacob, what do you think Timarie's odds are of getting on?
Wait, real quick. You were about to say something about The Voice, and I cut you off, and I'm so sorry.
No, I was just trying to compare, talking about it.
That you don't talk about it ever, and I talk about this, and it's never even happened.
I say you do whatever you want. Sometimes I just don't want to hear about it as often as you want to talk about it. That's all I was going to say. There's a difference, between wanting something, pursuing it, and then just from the moment you get home from work and just usually up until when you fall asleep, it is what you mainly talk about.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Timarie putting her hood up anytime she's getting sad. This episode is...
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm not sad about anything.
But I wasn't going to say anything about The Voice.
Oh, okay.
I was just going to... That was just,
can we...
You actually brought up that I was on TV before I did.
It's true, because Jacob early before this put a gun up to my head and said, if you don't somehow bring up that I was on The Voice, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, he told me, if you don't bring up... If you don't, talk about The Voice and how amazing I was on the show, actually, I'm going to leave you and take all of our money.
Yeah. I would never want to, in all seriousness, I don't want people to remember my performances. Mm-hmm. I'd be okay with them remembering that I was on it. But that's not something I like to be like, you should watch this clip.
Right.
Because I'm not really, I don't look back with a lot of fond memories of my performance. Personally. And maybe if you do great on The Amazing Race, you're like, you guys need to see this episode is the one you want to watch. Versus if you did make some mistakes, you'd probably be like, I don't want anyone to repost this. I don't want anyone to talk about that.
Mm-hmm. If I get on and either one I'm voted out first or I lose the first leg, that's gonna be the most humiliating. It's always so embarrassing. It's always over something dumb. Mm-hmm. So as long as I can get past that, I'll be happy. But let's turn it to our guest. I think that you're in the hot seat. I think that
okay,
you're a man.
Yeah.
And we have some serious questions that we want to ask you as a man.
Okay.
Yeah, number one, how dare you?
Right.
Yeah. Number one, how does it feel to be a man? We want to know.
I feel like this is such a, like, you cannot answer this question correctly.
True.
I would say overall, it's all I know, you know.
Wow.
Right.
And
That's
I
really
think that's true for me. Overall, I've had my ups and my downs throughout my lifetime.
Right.
I would dare to say it's easier by a lot to be a man than to live as a woman. So respectfully, it feels pretty good.
I only gave him $50 to say that.
It feels pretty good. But, sometimes men have difficult things that happen to them too.
Okay.
I don't know if it's probably worth talking about because I would never want to compare it.
What's the hardest part about being a man?
Childbirth.
Honestly,
Menstrual cramps?
probably just moments like this right now, sitting between two women who, hate men so much. I think there's a lot of courage that it takes to sit here.
Yeah, that's really bold. Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
If you... Wait. How do I say this? What is...
Are you coming up with it on the spot?
No. She doesn't know what she's asking yet.
Did you guys want me on this episode or is...
Yes. If you had to say which phase of my cycle am I most pleasant to be around? A, follicular phase. B, menstrual phase. C, luteal phase. Or D, ovulatory phase.
I would have to say it's a split between A, follicular, and D, ovulatory.
That's
phase.
correct.
That's correct. Yes,
Wow.
you get a point.
This is like a right or wrong?
Yeah.
You just asked me what I prefer.
No, you're saying which am I most pleasant, and that was the
which are
right
you most
answer.
pleasant? You're right. Yeah, those are your two most
Because
pleasant.
every time I'm in my ovulatory phase, Jacob's trying to. Jacob doesn't know my cycle, and he's like, "Damn, baby, I would do anything to be close to you." And in my follicular
That
phase,
sounded exactly like Jacob.
is
Damn,
when
baby.
my follicular phase is like
You're just on such a high.
when I'm on a high, and I'm
Yeah.
like, everything's amazing, and so in both phases,
the
he's trying to.
luteal phase.
Oh my gosh.
But it's never worked. We still haven't. Because that would be wrong.
Luteal phase is rough for you. It's rough for me.
It's rough for everybody.
It's rough for everybody.
Yeah.
But I feel
Drew
for
is
you
shaking his
as much
head.
as I can.
Nodding at yes.
Yeah.
Drew
Sorry.
agrees with everything being said right now.
Behind every woman during her luteal phase is
Is
a
what?
man who is
Who better be
the
supporting her.
next one to suffer from it.
That's a bold statement you just made. Are you sure you want to stick with that?
Absolutely.
I've got to say I agree with that. I feel like
you're not wrong.
It's
yeah.
insanely
Drew
difficult.
goes through it, not in the same way that I go through it, but I in going through it put him through it. You know?
Yeah, in the
It's
most like supportive and respectful way I can say this, it is it's incredible how women have to go through this every single month, and your hormonal cycle changes every like 20 something days, but mine is every 24 hours.
Yeah, must be really
Yeah, what's that
nice.
like? A 24-hour reset.
Can you tell us about
what you go through?
Like when you are tired and you go to bed and you feel more rested the next day.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's like that, but for every facet of your being.
Amazing.
You wake up and you're like, all
So
right.
you're telling me you never wake up and for some reason everything in the world is normal, and for some reason there's some chemical action happening in your body that says destroy everything, every thought, take down, like you can't even help it.
Other than like sometimes a level of crippling anxiety or depression that does bleed through a day or two, I can't relate to what you're describing.
I'm sorry. Did you just say you bleed? You
Sorry,
bleed through?
it seeps through the next day.
Wow.
Here's a scenario. Wait, I don't know if I want to say that.
How about every time Timarie says I don't want to say this, I go, yeah, probably don't. And then she
But
goes, I'm going to say it anyway.
I'm curious, like, what if you did? Because this can be edited if it's really bad, right?
She doesn't do that. She just bleeps for a long time. It'll be like, can you cut that? And then it's just like 40 seconds of bleeping.
Are you confident it's not a good podcast story?
It's just kind of like maybe a little icky.
Is it graphic?
No, I was going to put you in a scenario and say, what would you do?
What's a scenario?
A scenario.
I reckon
put me
he's
in a
in a
scenario.
scenario.
Okay.
I think it's fun to be put in these scenarios, but unless you guys don't want to.
In a what?
If you guys want
You're,
to
picture this.
switch the topic up, that's okay too. But I think it's fun to be put in these scenarios.
You're at work. Jacob's a server right now. He's a waiter.
Uh-huh.
What? Maybe let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think.
Dang.
Yeah, what's it like when you're a waiter?
Yeah, what's it like to be a waiter at a restaurant?
You know,
Your cycle resets every 24 hours.
Yeah,
with balls between your legs.
Oh my gosh.
Now, we could talk about that if we wanted to. I won't, but that is not as easy as it sounds. Make one wrong move and you're in pain for like 3 hours. I will say,
Okay.
all the Anchoevies are,
They get it.
minnows.
We should do a poll. Is it harder? No, never
No.
mind.
No. Yeah, work is fine. Depends on who you're working with. But being a server is
Trouble
overall.
in paradise?
Sure, I wouldn't call it paradise. It'd be like trouble at work, trouble in work.
Oh, men have problems too.
No, you're saying that it's difficult.
Yeah, it is. I'm so sorry. But yeah.
What's it like to be somebody who is visually impaired and needs to wear glasses?
I'm very slightly visually impaired. This is a...
Can I have some of this?
Yeah, this is a suggestion from the eye doctor who said, you're the kind of guy who has vision where it's like, hey, do you want to see better than you do now? Then you should wear these. If you don't wear them...
Point.
Well, I'm not, my main point isn't fully finished, though. As a woman, you have every right to cut me off if you want to. I would never say that you can't do that. But he said, if you didn't wear glasses, you could still drive at night. You could still do the things you need to do. But it's just like going to look better and feel better if you wear glasses. So he said, if you don't want them, you're not in any trouble yet, but you're going to probably need glasses in like 10 or 15 years. If you wear them now, it's just like everything's clearer and it's probably more enjoyable.
Would you say it's been clearer or more enjoyable?
I would say it's clearer and more enjoyable. When I was a little kid, I don't know if you guys ever did this, but I wanted glasses when I was little. I just thought it was cool to have glasses.
Yep.
And I feel lucky that if I just change my mind, I'm not really going to suffer from it.
Right.
But now that I've adjusted to these, it is pretty cool to notice how much more clarity and clear things do look with them.
That is cool, but it's not cool?
Men.
Yeah.
Was that a trick question?
No, it's just, where do I work, Jacob?
You work at an optometrist.
Yeah,
office.
so that's an eye doctor.
Yeah.
I thought we were best friends and that best friends go to each other's place of work to get what?
I'm touched that you said that we're best friends.
Yeah. Not the point. Don't try to steer the conversation.
Don't give us
honestly, here's the truth, Tessa.
I don't know if I want it.
And I understand that. Okay.
Go ahead.
Then
well, I was 5 minutes from the optometrist's office, and it was easier for me.
Are you saying that easy is always the better choice?
Hear me out. Here's the thing. This is what men do on podcasts. And here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Who's that guy from The Walking Dead?
Carl.
No.
Oh.
Carl. No. Who plays Shane?
Oh, I don't know his
It's
name.
like a John name or J something.
Classic man.
Jay-Z.
Barenthal.
Yeah, it's Jay-Z. Yeah, Jason Barenthal.
Barenthal.
Jay-Z.
He stutters so much that I don't believe him. It's such an aggressive stutter, and there's a reason for that, and because and it's
Maybe
so
he has
aggressive.
A stutter.
No, he doesn't. I know for a fact he doesn't.
It
I've
seems
looked
to
into
make
this.
them more compelling or something.
Yeah.
But I see a lot
I feel
of
like it's fake, the way
the
he
Jim
moves.
Bros podcasts. I feel like
Yeah.
I see them. I see a video, and they're gonna be like, and here's the thing too.
If you and that's everything that they do is they do
mad.
something with their hands and their eyes, and I feel like they're trying to look really smart or like they're
passionate
really
about what
pondering.
they're saying.
Yeah, they're so intentional to make it so, and it just makes me like cringe.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So on that note, if I were to say,
why is your fist closed?
because I'm gonna sock you in the face.
Yeah.
So say several months ago, I said I think I want solar for my house.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, Jacob and Timarie worked for a solar company that will not be named, and I
So
said, "There's a solar place 5 minutes from my house. Would Jacob and Timarie benefit from me going there?" Yeah.
This is an interesting question. I like.
And
this
then I went and got solar from a big box chain.
I think
solar
I can never
company.
speak to you again. If
Yeah.
you did
Thank
that to
you.
me.
So
Can I
I
ask
just
a question that might help me
Please.
know my answer to is: would you have gotten extra money if I went to your office?
not directly.
Then that's
But
then that's where I would say no.
But
if
my
somebody
role,
we know and love
my
would
role
be-
in the business that I work in is to make it more profitable and increase
Right.
sales.
Right.
So
And
But
it's
you-
owned by
but-
someone we
and
love
it's owned by
support.
Which we
A
love
friend.
Nanette so much.
HIPAA.
This isn't.
Her name's literally in the business.
yeah,
We're
Her name's
promoting. I
Dr.
thought you wanted to
It's
promote your
Doctor.
business.
it's
Dr.
Dr.
Brisbane.
Brisbane at Brisbane Eye Care.
That's right.
TM.
Yeah.
You guys do occasionally look in the camera, right?
Yeah,
For like shout outs or something
yeah.
for
sure.
Dr. Brisbane Eye Care, or whatever it's called, Brisbane Eye
You wouldn't know
Awareness
because you
Month.
didn't get your glasses there.
Right.
But
I know. Oh,
If-
you know
if-
what's also funny? It's owned by and run by a woman.
yeah,
Can you
actually, you
explain
know
that?
who works there?
I don't think
10
that's-
women,
I-
women only.
I don't think that's funny at all. I think that's the standard of what things should be.
The one
Wow,
that you
that's
didn't
beautiful.
choose.
You're trying to dig yourself out of this hole of going to.
Yep.
But here's the thing: if you don't make any more money, and we would have made more money through solar, then yes, we would have expected you to go through us.
Double
for solar,
standard.
Yeah,
No.
double standard.
because it would have benefited your friend's pay. It's so if there's no difference in me going to you for an eye test,
But my success in my role.
And
like how good and
And here's the thing.
And here's the thing:
you
is
know
what
the
it comes down to.
Portlandia skit with the chickens. He's like,
Let me ask you-
and
yeah.
did you raise the chickens on a farm or were they?
Let me ask you this.
Okay,
Chickens is a sore
Did a
subject
male
for
do
me.
your eye exam?
a woman did.
But did a male help you pick out your glasses?
Yes,
Yeah,
Wow.
that's really rich.
Sexism.
but I have to say that
Sexism
male.
in the modern day put on display
You
for
know-
you all to watch.
You know that man who helped me get my frames was a feminist king.
Who's to say?
You know this guy.
Never met this guy in my
Yes,
life.
you have. He's such a
Okay,
feminist
Jacob,
king.
I just want to go on record and say I forgive you.
That's
For
big
not
of
going
you.
to Brisbane Eye
Yes.
Care. What's it called?
It's called Brisbane Eye
And next
Care.
time
Okay.
you don't, though, Tessa forgives, but she doesn't forget. Fool her once, shame on her.
Yeah.
Fool her twice, shame on
Me.
Wait, no.
Oh yeah. Once is me.
Don't
Once
help
is
her,
you,
don't help
twice
her.
is Tessa. So
Yeah.
next time you better get your next set of frames from Brisbane Eye Care, and that goes for all you minnows. And if you don't, we will. Let me just say
Do you accept my insurance?
that's actually
is
a
it?
big.
Yes.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait. Question.
Then yeah, I'll definitely get
Thank
my
you.
future frames
Thank
at Brisbane.
you.
Okay. As we all should.
I'd love to make a 35-minute trip and skip past the
Screw
4 places like I do
you.
in Coeur d'Alene.
Friends are worth it. Family is closer, and
Blood is thicker than
blood
water.
is thicker than water.
Can I?
Do you guys think that's true?
Yeah. No, I don't. Blood is thicker than water. No.
Here's the thing,
In
and I'll
some
say
cases,
this
but-
in my real life. I'll say it on Survivor. I'll throw anyone under the bus.
There's
to
a
get to
season
the
called
top.
Blood versus Water.
Ooh, just
Um,
kidding.
Can I ask you?
I don't know if you can hear that.
I
put
hope
the
I
mic
hope
up
that
to
that
Theo
can get
snoring.
picked up.
Theo's snoring, and it's
I don't
really
know what
cute.
time you guys need to be at because
What
of
time did we
your
start?
storage capacity.
Yeah, Drew, how much time we got left? What are we at?
I don't know. It still says an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, and we're
But what?
fine.
How long has we been?
You're at 54 minutes right now.
Oh, perfect.
Damn. I forgot to talk about something really important, but please go ahead.
That's a tough one because
No,
Mhm.
please, as a man.
I was
go.
just going to ask you guys a couple of questions
Okay.
if it's okay because I
Wow.
don't want to overstep as a guest on this podcast.
cute.
But,
Never.
you know,
could easily.
Timarie, in all seriousness, if that's possible on this show, do you feel as though that I am supportive of women, or do you think I'm more neutral and should do better, or do you think that I'm sexist?
Do I think that you're sexy? Yes. Do I think that you're sexist? Absolutely not.
Okay.
You're my woke feminist king baby. Don't you ever forget it.
Okay, thank you.
Why do you need that justification?
Well, I mean, I had it was going to
scared?
lead into something.
Oh, okay.
So,
Did I answer correctly?
it's whatever your answer was is how you feel. I
Is
just
that
want to
what
know
you
your
thought I was
feelings.
gonna
Is
say?
it hard for you, or because here's the thing, Tessa and I are in a band together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
True.
4-person group, and it's called Brittany's House. It's me, Lucas, Tessa,
Brittany.
Drew, Brittany, and Cody. 4 people.
AKA Jacob, Drew, Tessa, Cody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you didn't understand that.
That was an old inside joke for, the people who, for the real ones.
If you know, you know.
If you don't, that's just embarrassing.
So,
I feel sorry for you if you didn't get that one. And you better be sorry. And if you don't, well, you might as well just unsubscribe right now.
right. If I would say, with that being said, we're in a 4-person band, and I feel as though we started the group as a unit of 4 individuals who all have an equal say. But I think it's naturally fallen into a place where, you're the only woman in the band.
Right.
How does that feel? Do you feel challenged by this group? Does it feel like you feel like you're in a group of 3 men who support you? Do you feel like you're the odd woman out?
It's hard when the 3 of you make a calendar to track my menstrual cycle.
I know.
To ask
And
me.
we stopped doing that.
It's hard when you guys literally say things like, "Oh,
You can't talk
you're
right
just
now."
a girl."
And
you
I'm
are
sorry
meant to
that
speak."
Drew and I came up with some code for, what type of phase you're in, and if it's luteal, it's a wink. If
you guys know
menstrual,
not to
it's
ask me, talk
yeah.
to me. Yeah. You guys are doing like baseball signage with your
Morse
hands.
code.
Yeah,
It's
and Morse
wrong.
code with your nostrils. So besides that, though, I would say it mostly feels like I'm in a band with 2 women and 1 male.
Who's the male?
Cody. So I'll expand on this a little bit. Not to throw my husband under the bus because he's sitting right here
But
looking at
vroom,
me.
vroom, you know what I'm saying?
And I love him, and he is a male in every definition. However, there's something about
Are you saying Drew's a little bitch?
no, but here's what I will say.
Those are your words, babe, and you're in for a real
I think I communicate
argument.
more like a man.
Ooh, you're that's
Which-
thin ice for
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay. Because if
and
I
would
just said
say
you act like a woman,
There
how would
is a
that
double
feel?
standard there, but I'm like
there
here
is,
for
but like
it.
I think there's like masculine and feminine we can use.
Okay.
Words.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Even then,
like
then
less emotionally. I will just say that Drew and Jacob tend to have some emotionally charged conversations, discussions, and disagreements.
Wait, can I weigh on that? Like
which
a
is an
way to
ick.
put it?
Which is an ick for you guys, which you made very
I
clear.
feel like it's not like a masculine feminine thing. I think it's emotion led versus
Fact.
like maybe
Like
more logic led.
Yeah.
Like logically you guys know you love each other, whatever, and like, but then maybe you let your emotions get
So
the best
here's
of
where
you.
my theory comes into play,
okay.
which is that I
Maybe
grew
I
up
should have never spoken.
no.
I grew up with 3 boys,
Mm-hmm.
a brother and 2 boy cousins who live right next door.
Okay.
Jacob grew up with 2 sisters
Stay at home mom.
and a stay-at-home mom. Drew has 3 sisters,
I doubt that. I've only met one.
and yeah, one more so that he was
It does
really
play
growing
it,
up
I
with.
think, into
But anyway,
Uh-huh.
big
I think
dynamic
that it's
thing.
more Jacob and Drew. I've described them as sisters before.
Right.
I think that the things you guys disagree about and the way that you have discussions feels like you stole my sweater from me, little sister. Give it back,
Ouch.
you know? And then Cody and I,
being such a savage right now.
Jacob said he wanted to get roasted. And I mean this with all the love and respect in the world. If I was in a band with 3 boys who communicated like the general male population, I don't know that I'd love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a roast.
But I think that Cody and I mostly just show up, play music, we nod and agree,
More
you know?
bro.
And we have fun. And we have fun with you guys too, and you guys have fun. But there's something about the like how you guys communicate that is funny to me to watch. And so I don't feel like
I've never seen you laugh about it. How's that funny?
I'm giggling now. But being the only girl, I don't feel like it's just like a bro fest of 3.
Okay.
True.
Like dominating male energy is what I'm saying.
Right.
Right. Well, thank you for answering that question.
Totally. Is that what you were hoping that I would say?
Yeah. No, that's exactly. Yeah, I really wanted to hear that. I would like to just sort of respond with my thoughts on that a little bit. With, you know, I think we've stepped into a generation where, you know, what is masculine, what is feminine has become much more subjective, maybe.
Pink is definitely a girl. Blue is definitely a boy color.
Right.
That's
and
one thing
that
we
is
know
like
for sure.
That's like 2 + 2 is 4, you know, equals 4. But I would say for Drew and I, you know,
swap 'em.
I agree with you mostly in how Drew and I communicate like sisters do. I would rather just say we communicate like siblings do.
Girl
Because
siblings.
because I didn't have a brother.
Right.
Drew doesn't have a brother. Do you?
No.
I mean, sometimes I forget who's who in which role because there's like Cameo and then there's Quentin, and I'm like, oh right, no, your sister's Cameo and she's with, you know what I mean. So I'm like, oh yeah, there's Quentin. Oh wait, no, yeah, he's like a brother to you probably. And with that being said, Drew and I really care about the fine print, like the little details, and so. If I have slightly misquoted Drew, that is now a subtopic of what needed to be corrected, and vice versa. I think we have this expectation that if there is even a breath that is out of place from the quote, that we both like, that is not true, and you are lying, which may seem to fit into more of a sister-sister argument, which is kind of a dig on women.
Sure,
if you're saying that, because but on the opposite side of it, if you're saying we were to talk like brothers, what would you describe it to be like? Either no argument or really aggressive.
I would say like less emotion in it or less communicative.
And I don't think this is like us throwing women under the bus because we both grew up with brothers or like well, you have one brother, but you had your cousins and whatever, so they were like kind of brothers to you growing up. And me having brothers growing up, it was like nothing was ever like emotionally discussed. It was literally like if you're pissed at somebody, like you I don't know. You just
you weren't talking about your feelings.
You don't talk about, which is probably toxic, but
totally.
You don't talk about your feelings. Like I remember one time my Uncle Tony was like, "You and your brother can just fight, no holds barred, go for it." Because we were about the same size, and I remember we just like literally wrestled, and I played dirty. I did get in trouble. I did injure my brother a little bit. And I was grounded. Yeah,
like my sisters would like, they would like smack me to the point where there's like a hand mark for like a day, and like sprain my pinky one time, like pulling around on me. Marissa used to squeeze my cheeks until my cheeks touched under my teeth. But like I wasn't allowed to do anything back because I was because I was a boy. And then I was like 8 or 9 being told like how I need to treat women when they're on their period by my parents. Wow. So it was like I very much was brought up with like this is the best way to communicate your feelings.
Wait, you were like
and like talk about feelings
how
in
to
general.
Treat them on their period, just not in general. Like they were like when they're on their cycle, you need to be this way.
That doesn't imply that they like don't tell me what I do when they're not on their period. It's just saying this is what you're going to experience during this time, and
that's
like
wild.
Understand that this is like a unique thing that you should be aware of. And so at like 9 or 10, I'd be like,
I think like day or
I'd be
night.
Like, does that mean she's
she's crying? Does that mean I need
cycle
to bring her
or no
like,
cycle?
And yes, she is. And I'm like,
my brothers would just tear me apart, but I can't even be that upset because I was vicious back to them. Like,
but you wouldn't like talk about it, right? With your brothers?
No, we would just probably get over it and move on.
And it wasn't that they would talk to me about it, but I was the odd man out. Like I was around. My dad worked all the time. He was gone when we woke up and home at dinner all the time. And then it was just my mom and my 2 sisters. So I just had to observe most of the time. So I will say, and I've picked up on your hint, you're welcome, with the whole band thing, just sort of, making you feel like, like you belong. And that you would prefer it this way over, boys that apparently act like boys. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, unless you're heading somewhere with that.
No.
We are at time.
Mm.
And I do have something really important to talk about. Attention on me, guys. Come on. No, I'm just kidding. This is crazy. This is actually going to change the grounds of this podcast moving forward and forevermore. Now, there is an option for you guys, you minnows, to take action and support the Anchoevies podcast.
Wow.
If you go to our Insta, click the link in our bio, it says support the Anchoevies pod. You can become a subscriber and you could choose how much you want to pay. We know we're like basically in a recession right now. So, but if you don't, then we will hate you and never speak to you again.
That's right.
And we will
put a bag of dog poop on your porch and light it on fire. And then, you know what else we'll do? We're going to find out your deepest, darkest secret. And we will write them down, put them in a hat. And then on our next episode, we're going to expose you for who you truly are. And then we're going to send that clip to your mother. And there's nothing you can do about it. So that's what will happen if you don't choose to support the Anchoevies. As of right now, I can say it's not going to get you anything. No bonus content. You'll literally just be giving us money. But
you should do like a Patreon thing, like a post episode, like
we are gonna start doing that soon. What do you say, Drew?
A bonus episode.
We will start to have bonus episodes. So like right now you're just kind of getting it like on our good side. Like we're not playing favorites, but we're just saying if you do pay us money every month and you don't have to do anything, it's a subscription, we will like you more and appreciate you more as a human being.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's not a favorites thing.
Yeah, that's just kind of showbiz.
It's just the pecking order of everything. So you can click that link. Decide how much you want to pay monthly. You can cancel anytime. Please never cancel either because you don't want to know what will happen if we find out that you canceled. That's going to be a lot worse than what we just talked about before.
We can't even say what we would do.
We can't say it because we could go to prison.
That's right.
Yeah. Jail or worse.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Yeah, so with that, support us. And theme song coming your way. Okay?
True.
Guys, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm feeling that urge to clear the air and that I just need to say that I love being in Brittany's house. I do enjoy being the only female in a band with other,
girls.
The four Britneys.
Right.
I do enjoy it and I love it. It's one of my favorite things ever. So I didn't want to make that sound like I hate you guys.
But you did, and that's okay.
Totally.
And
but I just felt like I needed to say that.
I appreciate you saying that. I overall, felt that, but it's fun to, have you say that. Feels good.
Totally.
I don't think I've ever had to put you in that position before. So it's nice that you put yourself in that own position and then said something so nice about the band. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you want to shout anything out before we end?
Yeah. Thank you so much. First of all, for having me on the podcast as a man.
And that's time.
I would say for any anchovies, minnows, I would say, we all want to support each other. Come support Brittany's house music, support Timarie on The Amazing Race and Survivor and potentially Big Brother. In the near future, Brittany's house wants to get a single out there, and we're hoping that we have some content to come out. So, spread the love, spread the subscriptions and the likes and the comments and the views. And
the money.
Maybe you'll have another podcast in the future as well from some other people from Brittany's house.
Oh.
Keep your eyes peeled. And thanks for having me on the episode.
Yep. Thanks, Jacob Maxwell.
Thanks, Jacob Maxwell, for joining the episode. Yeah. God bless America.
Amen.
Thank you.
Bye.